Howdy, I'm Azrael Cooper, and this is the NPC test. There are currently 2 NPCs, although one is for testing, so let's go take a look at the one that's actually implemented. So the NPC that's actually in the game is found in Clockworld. This is probably one of the first NPCs you'll run into if Clockworld is your first choice, because they are on the top level and they're right at the top here. This is Prime Chime. Don't ask me about the name or the sprite. I'm not sure why I designed him like this, but he looks absolutely amazing with his biceps, and he opens his hands, squats as he sits. I don't know. So let's take a look at the actual NPC. So if we press E while hovering over him, a little dialog box appears with a profile picture that is actually custom, which I'll show you later, and the dialogue that appears in the middle, and we have a continue or skip button in the bottom. Currently you have to click this, but eventually I will make this just a button on the keyboard. So there's actually some interesting things we can do with the NPCs, thanks to the system I made. The first one is if we select the NPC, such as this one, we can actually change whether the sound they make is a one-shot sound, which is what you heard a second ago. So one shot means if we go to the next message, the sound they make is actually only once. So the difference between that and turning off one-shot mode, now the NPC will do that sound for every letter rather than every message. So this might be a bit loud, so brace yourselves. For the NPCs that have this long echoing sound that can be quite annoying, I turn on one shot. But for other NPCs, such as the test NPC, which I can actually show you. So DevWorld is literally just a testing place for me to test various things, including this absolutely terrifying test NPC here. So for this test NPC, if I turn off one shot, you may also notice that the text prints slower, which I can actually change in the game. So the way this works is using an NPC manager and an NPC brain. The brain goes on the NPC itself, and the manager goes on our game manager, down here. The manager takes care of all the complicated stuff, like starting dialogue, wiping the text, typing the letters, the next line, stuff like that. And the brain takes care of all the elements we need, such as the voice they use, the speed, the dialogue they speak, and beginning the dialogue. They also take care of collisions, so we can detect the player. Currently, the system works quite well. I had an issue before where multiple NPCs on the map would just break the system, but now I've changed that so it can allow for multiple NPCs. There's also some quality of life examples here. For instance, on the player, their collision box now changes depending on their size. So if I go to the 16x16 sprite effect, you can see that the hitbox actually goes up. But now it's moved up to the player, and if we change back into the default state, you can see that the collision box stays at the bottom.